Hi, Panda here, and we checked out the Perrygrove Railway Adventure in Coleford in South England in the United Kingdom. It is a narrow gauge railway adventure. It's basically described as a railway adventure. It has a narrow gauge train, there are several steam trains and a diesel train, and we got to experience one of the steam trains, which I was very excited for. And you get unlimited journeys for the day, so when you go you pay one price and you get unlimited journeys as much as you want. It is only a 3/4 mile stretch, but obviously being a narrow gauge train that takes a little bit anyway, and it has really beautiful sights of this wonderful valley with lovely forestry. We were lucky, we were on a very warm day, so it was good, but I imagine you could still have some fun even if it was a rainy day, but the other parts of this attraction may not be as suitable for the rain, so keep that in mind when you go. So you travel along, it sort of does like a weird loops back on itself a few times, like a snake. And once you get to the top, you can go off and have a look around a woodland walk, which was really nice. I didn't get to explore all the woodland walk, but what I did see of it was very nice, and it's near the railway. As you can probably tell from some of the video we managed to catch during our time, some good shots of the train as well. So there's some good places where you can walk quite near the railway. But they're all fences in case you're worried about safety. It seemed pretty safe to me. I think they've done a good job safety-wise, which you would have to when there's a steam train nearby. There's also a treetop adventure, which I first saw when we were travelling on the train, but you can go around it. Now, originally it was a bit busy. On the day we went is the school summer holidays. We went in August, and there was a lot of families and children about. But as the day got on and families went away, but it was still technically open till about 5 o'clock, I got a chance to go around the treetop adventure a couple of times actually, with no one else on it. And I was like, wow, and it was pretty good. Even as an adult, I was like, this is a pretty cool big treehouse, including a slide as well. A few little bits when you go in some of like the little houses, bit of a tight squeeze. It's clearly meant for little ones, but it was still good. And there's even a bit where you can sit and the train goes right underneath you. It's like a little bit that sort of sticks out and the train goes right underneath you. It's pretty awesome, to be honest. Yeah, so that was definitely good. There was a cafe. I had a vegan sorbet, so the fact that it had something vegan was another plus as well. Things I didn't see but I think were still good. There's a picnic area, which I think I saw when we passed on the train. Nice grass areas and picnic benches. And there's also a Warren Adventure, which is like these huge plastic tube tunnels, probably meant for children. I don't think an adult can fit in, but like I said, we were on there a very hot day, so I imagine inside those tunnels would have been roasting, but it looked like a giant hamster environment, like like a hamster cage has those tunnels and they go off in different places, kind of like that. I wish there's a few more things aimed at adults. Would have been cool to have seen some bigger things. Things in the middle. There's something called the Twilight Village. It's basically in a barn, and they made like this miniature houses and towns. They're not like tiny, but they're meant like smaller scale for children. Once again, it was quiet and all the children had gone, so we had a look around there, and it was interesting. I'd say definitely a bit of a squeeze. And I didn't think there was enough activities for children. There's meant to be like sounds or something playing, but when we went in, the sounds weren't on, so I don't know if they were turned off or they just don't have it on. I can also imagine when it's busy in there, it gets pretty loud, so just take that into consideration. And plus, if you're going with children and families, it is a tight squeeze in there. Even though there's a ramp to get in there and the main room is more accessible, I'd say the rest of it isn't very accessible. Overall, I think accessibility is fine. I saw the train getting used by a variety of people, even people that might need a ramp to get on, and they seem to be having a good time, and it seemed accessible for everyone. So I think they did a good job with the train being accessible, because considering it's a small train, and clearly back in the day when you use these trains for miners, they weren't taking into consideration, is it accessible? The Treetop Adventure, also accessible. You just go up a ramp, there's no ladders. I thought that was fantastic. You can go around most of it. Okay, now the cons. The picture online shows these mini tractors you can sit on and pay. It's terrible. There's like a tiny bit of concrete and a few miniature tractors. They didn't really do much with it, and I'm not sure why they advertised it online as such a big deal, because it's really underwhelming. And I've seen these miniature sit-ons before, like even if you go to Legoland, there's like the little vehicles you sit on and go around, but usually it's like, oh, it's cool looking environment, but this is really disappointing here. The miniature railway looks good, says 50p for 2 minutes, did not last 2 minutes. I think that needs a little bit of TLC as well, and I think they could have done some more miniature railway things, even if it was just like displays and you just watched them go around. So I think that's a missing opportunity there. And the gift shop was a bit small, so I didn't really have a look. I just saw there's a few things, the cliche like toys that people seem to buy from gift shops for some reason. It was lacking. Overall, I had a good day. We went as a family with no children, that is. and we had a good time. Now, it was a hot day and it wasn't school holidays, so there was a lot of children, and some people do not know how to control their children. This is not a video about parenting, so I won't go into it, but, you know, take in that consideration, not all families that go with children know how to have their children behave or be under control. I'm all for children having fun. That's not the issue here. There's a difference between having fun and being out of control. But just take that in mind what time of year you go at. Now, it's really hard to review somewhere like this. Overall, I had a good day and I enjoyed it. But I thought this is going to be different for different people. Obviously, you need to love trains. If you don't have an interest in trains, you go into the wrong place, to be honest. If you're going by yourself, it's going to feel awkward. There's a lot of groups of families. It's really hard to enjoy anything with like the amount of like chaos that's going on sometimes with these big family groups. Depends on time of day, and also this might be different for time of year. It doesn't seem to really aimed at people going by themselves. I think you could happily go as a couple. I think you could enjoy the railway, enjoy the picnic area, enjoy the woodland. Maybe the treetop adventure later on in the day. We did see another couple going around the treetop adventure who didn't have children and they seemed to be having a good time. If you're going as a family, and when I say family, I don't mean children, everyone's like grown up, as I did, a group of adults basically, I think you could have a good time as well. It was a nice time to spend time with family. Nice relaxing train journey, having a picnic, just has that nice relaxing vibe. And if you're going with a family of children, it's kind of ideal. There's loads of great playgrounds. It's got the treetop railway, that warren thing, big open fields, woodlands. If you do take your children, just be mindful of the railway is a working railway as such, and there are big engines, and there's things you just need to be aware of, and keep an eye on your children because they could easily run across one of the crossings, even though there's a gate, so hopefully that would stop them. Just be mindful there are areas like the platforms as well where you can obviously get onto the track easier, so keep control of your children if you do go. But overall, I think this is a great place, and I was happily surprised because this was sort of like a last minute thing for me when I was going on holidays down to southern England. Originally I was going to go on the Forest of Dean Railway, but they weren't running for some reason because I really wanted to go on like a really big, what I call like a mainline steam train because I haven't been on one in years. But this was a lovely, pleasant surprise. So there you go. That was our Perrygrove Railway Adventure sort of travel vlog review. I've been Panda. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you to our patrons and Ko-fi donations and Twitch subscribers who help the channel keep going. And we'll see you next time. Bye.